sanctimonious of rock and roll. Well, hello, and welcome to the Daily Atheist Morning Show. I am your host, the amazing Super Chris Mallard. Thank you for joining me today. My co-host, Ryan Kaltastic, is here, hiding in the back, off doing whatever she's doing. She does stuff. She'll be back here with us in just a minute. It's Thursday, the day of Thor. Have you had a good week? I've had a pretty good week. It's not been bad. There are other things going on in the world. We have a question of the day, about atheisting and, morality and all that business. It's just fun for the whole family. But we've got things to talk about, and we're going to talk about them here in just a minute. Have you considered becoming an atheist? If you're not an atheist out there, we've got a deal running where you can choose atheism for like only $39.95.
Life is complicated. These are trying times. There are many questions that need answering. Want to know what's going to help? Atheism. With atheism, you'll get rid of dogma, superstitions, and toxic thought patterns that are holding you back. You can drive while taking atheism, as well as use heavy machinery. In fact, drinking alcohol, fornicating, and Sunday mornings are far more enjoyable with atheism. However, there are side effects. Some evangelicals and fundamentalists will think you are possessed by the devil. But you don't have to worry, because you know the devil isn't real. Just like God. Wake up to your life. Believe in yourself. Believe in science. Atheism.
I want to remember that. Oh, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Yes, I have my wonderful co-host Ryan here. There she is. Look at that. Looking all fancy.
Hello. Hello, lady.
Good morning. Hello, lady. Lady, good morning.
Good morning. Hi, everybody.
Have you had a good week so far?
So far, so good. Yeah, so I guess I can't complain.
Okay. Good. Me too, actually. It's been a pretty good week. I've got some things. I made a note earlier. I don't know if you heard it or not, but I say we, as in the show, have been deemed by Locked on Law, I think it was, or somebody in the chat. I'll have to check it out because I have zero memory, that we are indeed the clitoris of atheism on YouTube.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he did not get notified that the show had started, and we had to go looking for us, and we're hard to find, apparently, for some reason.
But he found joy eventually.
Apparently he did. Once he found us, it was magic after that. Mm-hmm. Good morning, so Steve Gudakis. Steve is here. Author, fantastic author, Steve. You know what? I want to tell you, people, if you out there live in a world where you've ever written a book, whether you self-published it or published it through a publishing house, either way, doesn't matter. It's a lot of freaking work, not only to write the book, but then to promote the book and always be shilling it and promoting and doing this stuff. And I have to really say, I admire Steve's grit. He really does a good job of promoting his book. He's got a book. Steve, do you have a link? I don't think can you post a link? Steve, you're welcome to post a link if you want to your book in the chat. Good morning, Dave. GeoSam is here. Dave is here, and GeoSam are here. Good morning to both of you. Rainbow Ash. Good morning, Rainbow Ash.
Morning.
Let's see. GeoSam. I saw. Big Zebra. Big Zebra is here. Did you know Big Zebra was here? I hadn't seen Big Zebra in a while. It's like,
I know. Where you been?
Every now and then. I don't know. Hiding.
Grazing,
maybe.
Fields?
Sometimes it's like not cool to hang out with us, not cool kids, so they won't be seen hanging out with us. You know how it is. But occasionally they stop by and remind us that there are betters. Good morning, Big Zebra. I hope you had a good week so far. And there's also Theoretically. Theoretically has a couple days off and has full opportunity to stalk us during the show.
Nice.
Fantastic. So
what
let me ask you.
Great way to spend your time off.
Exactly correct. Watching us and masturbating.
To you? Yes.
Just like in general. Throughout the day. Not, okay, maybe to someone, at them, if you will. Have you ever masturbated at someone? I think I've come up with a new thing. Yes. Let's see. Somebody in the chat asked earlier if atheist was a verb now, because the title of the show is "We Are Atheisting This Morning."
Yeah, why not?
And actually, a long time ago, I come up with the atheisting thing. I even had merch, like in the 2019 show. I had merch about atheisting. It's a verb. Atheisting is a verb. I have it on a cup somewhere. It's hiding. Anyway, yeah, so it's been around. Yeah. The new heathening thing, that's kind of different. We're welcome, come heathen with us. I'm using heathen also, in that fashion. So
it is something you do. It's a way of life.
It is. And you can do it anywhere. That's the magic of being an atheist. You can atheist over here. You can atheist over there. Some places I got to be honest with you, my friend. Some places you can atheist, but you kind of need to keep it on the down low. I'm just saying. Just some places, not all places. Yes. Yeah. Just keep it on the down low in some places. Just, if you're smart. You can be a smart old atheist or a not smart dead young atheist. If
you want to get ahead.
Or keep yours. Yes. So Deviant Outcast is here. Good morning, Deviant Outcast. Thank you for joining us from the other side of the world. It's really fascinating how many people join us every morning and from such diverse places. If you will, people, let's remind us, where are you from in the chat? Of course, I'm in New Mexico. She's somewhere on the East Coast. I don't know, East Coast somewhere, causing problems.
Somewhere.
Somewhere. And then where are the rest of you guys? I do believe Deviant Outcast is a Kiwi. Kiwi? It's Kiwi? I think it's Kiwi.
I don't know. Where's that from?
Oh, wait, that is Sweden. That's Swedish, right?
Okay.
That's Sweden. Yeah, because Sweden has the best money. Sex money. So Deviant Outcast is from Sweden. Oh, we got you. That's right. Thank you, Deviant Outcast. So let's see who we've got here. Let me do this. Sweden. That's right. I hope that Deviant Outcast, in my mind, there's like a shaking fist behind that, Sweden. But I like the way Ryan interpreted it better, because he doesn't have like the threat. So I'm going to start. Let's say Amy Nicole Cervantes. Good morning, Amy Nicole Cervantes says Kansas, from Kansas. I know. Click your heels 3 times together and you become an atheist. Clicking. I'm going to click here. Look at the trees. This is in Ohio. Very cool. Look at the trees. Virginia. Alan Conklin. Good morning, Alan. Thank you for joining us. We've got, wonderful people joining us. Steve Godakis is in Windsor, Ontario, Canada.
Wowsies.
I know. It's fancy. It sounds fancy. Does it not sound fancy? It sounds like royal or something.
Sounds like
Windsor. It's the Windsor part that makes it sound fancy. You think
like
Windsor
or something.
Yeah. That's what it makes it sound like. So now, Steve, I feel like Steve is a snob. Don't you think Steve is a snob? We've now agreed Steve is a snob. He's like an uppity Canadian. Not just any kind of Canadian, but at least he'll apologize for being a snob. I'm kidding, Steve.
Sorry.
And all of Canada, I apologize for insulting all of you.
Pardon. Sorry.
Pardon. Yes. Sorry.
That's probably really not nice to do. I don't know.
I don't know. But the cool thing is they tend to have a good sense of humor generally. Let's see. Honest Ketchup. Oh, wow. Big Zebra is from east of Toronto, Ontario. Wow. Lots of
good people up north. Yeah. I didn't miss you there, Carolina Infante, out of Arlington, Virginia. Wow. Virginia.
Cool. Virginia. There you go. It's green and hilly there, right?
Virginia's beautiful.
So is Arlington named after a white man? Is it like is like Bob Arling and they named the town Arlington? Is that how that works? I figure that's probably how that works. A lot of that on the East Coast. Like if you're in Pittsburgh, who is it named after? It's a burg named after whom? A white guy named Pitts. Nashville is what? Yeah. So there's a lot of that. I don't mean to continue insulting people's places from where they're from. I don't mean to do that. I'm sorry. I love you all. Next comes Dallas, Texas. Son of a bitch. I just said I love where you are, and I'm just now Dallas, Texas. It's just like you taunt me, you task me, you people task me. I was born in Florida.
How are you guys doing down there in Texas? Are you okay?
Yeah. How are you doing down there? How are you feeling? Are you ready to move away? List of all trades, oh wow, Lil of all trades, Dallas. All right, so let me catch up. Lil of all trades, Dallas. Geosam, Arizona, by the way of New York City. So all right, very cool. Equus, Orange County, California. Very cool. Yes, Michigan, the Detroit Atheist Queen. I'd have been disappointed if you just said anything but Michigan. I remember one time I even asked her, I'm like, where are you from? I'll be okay. I had to sit down for a little while. The Detroit Atheist Queen. Yeah. Godless Engineer's not in the chat. He's not there. He's always sleeping at this time, or off her. And
I don't know if he said where he's from.
Oh, wait, let's see where he's from.
I don't think
Did he really say something?
No,
I didn't say where he's from. He's oh yeah. Oh, hey, he is here. How did I miss that? Oh, I didn't go up high enough. Good morning, John. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us this morning. I hope you and Casey are doing wonderful. I love the fight you have going on on YouTube, on Facebook. The voice you are raising against the authoritarian fascist dictatorship that has overthrown our government. They're very vocal on their Facebook account, and I'm down for it. I am. So good morning. Thank you for joining us. Let me see where I missed somebody. Let's see. Oh, I've rolled up all the way. The thingy is not good. I know some Cervantes in Kansas. Wow, cool, says Alan Conklin. Sven's from Sweden, Locked on Law. Sven's from Sweden. John Hudson is from Texas. That explains a lot. Via Utah. Glut for punishment indeed, John. Glut for punishment indeed. Godless Engineers in the northern part of hell, just above Satan's chocolate starfish.
Oh, oof.
I love it when you talk dirty, John. The smell. Yeah, and the sweat. And the sweat. Let's see, Texas. Let's see, who else did I miss? So that's a lot of people all over the world. Normally we even have some, Geosam, the Grand Canyon State. Normally we have some Aussies and some, people from the upside down world over there in the chat as well. Normally. Yep. Big Zebra is a Canadian mountain zebra, apparently. That's interesting. Yeah, a lot of people. Kelly Laughlin. Where's Kelly Laughlin from again? Kelly, where are you from? Where are you at, I guess? Ooh, Kelly.
I forget.
Let's see. Ooh, Michigan. Michigan. There are people out there from Michigan. That's cool. We'll let them stay.
You're welcome here. We don't judge.
Yes.
Well, we do, but
yeah. Okay, there you go. We usually do it off the
day.
Yeah, we don't do it on stream. We'll judge you during commercials.
Well,
Lots of judging goes on during commercials. Let's see, John Darwin. Good morning, John Darwin. Thank you for joining us. Maya is here, Captive Desk. Man, you guys are all wonderful. Thank you all. It's been fantastic. So I hope you all have had a good week. I hope you're all having a good looking forward to hopefully having a good weekend. There's some things going on in the politics, like the Democrat has been elected who can actually do the vote to release the Epstein files. And that's part of the reason why our government is shut down. They don't want her taking office to take the vote, so they have to release the Epstein files. I believe that's a big part of what's going on right now.
Yeah. Oh, I don't doubt that there's a lot of media hullabaloo to distract people from the Epstein files. They want us to forget about it because normally our ability to pay attention to one headline for too long is not very good. We're so used to needing new information all the time. And so we can be led by a little carrot. But for whatever reason, finally, for once, I think that's something we've all kind of united over is like, nah, man, we ain't letting this go. We want them files released. I don't know how. I don't know how. And especially because Trump we're thinking part of it. And there's so many people who love him. I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know how. It's that we got to get it out. I mean, we're so close. People know. all that's going to happen when the files are released is that we're going to have official. But at this point, you can't not know. He is
maybe because it's international too. Like it's not just in America. Guy is like, maybe that's part of the problem is there's other countries also looking and watching and waiting as well. So there's no way we're going to get out from under it. Because I'm just curious as to finally something is stuck with this country. Maybe we are just so desperate for something. Sad that that's the one thing that we can hold on to.
All right, Ryan, you're depressing me.
I'm
getting sad on my own show. You're making me sad. Sadness is coming on me. Yes, the Trumpstein files. Good morning, James Apperson. We really do need those things. If you guys are not subscribed to the Godless Engineer, go subscribe to John, both on Facebook and here on YouTube. He's a wealth of information. Despite how he looks, he's very smart.
I don't know.
I think I just got uninvited from a lot of things. Good morning. No, John is fantastic. Go subscribe to John. Go watch his stuff. He's got some, very knowledgeable. Every time I watch his things, like these live streams he does and other, he was on what was it? A council, an atheist group from someplace. I don't know. I watched his stuff and it was great. I learned a lot every time. I almost immediately forgot it, but I did learn stuff.
That's how my brain works.
I'll tell you. Carrie Ann, aka God, is here. Good morning, God.
Hi, God.
For those of you who don't know, I'm actually going through the Bible still, chapter by chapter, and every now and then I get hung up, and it takes me a while to get to a new episode. But I got a new episode out recently. It was episode 15 of the Evil God Monster of Abraham. It's a lot of fun. You should check it out if you want to. There wasn't a lot there. I mean, once I looked and saw it in the correct light, and I was like, oh, shit. And I was like, I pointed these things out. Now they can't argue with the facts that I pointed out about concerning the Bible. They had lots of ad hominem attacks in the comments, but no even attempts to disprove or undermine my argument.
Frustrating.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah. Anyway, so the next chapter, I know I'm going to say this, it's rhetorical, right? So I don't really expect you to know. Do you know what the next chapter of the Evil God Monster of Abraham is?
I do not.
Okay, see, I knew that. That's good. I trapped you there. It is chapter 16. Okay. Chapter 16, as you know, is the chapter in which Sarai gives Abram Hagar. And they did naughty, right? And then Hagar runs away. Yes. And as I'm going through this chapter, it's only got 18 or 19 verses, something like that. And I mean, I'm thinking at least literally three quarters or more, 75 to 85% of the scriptures in every scripture is morally repulsive. Whether it be, it opens with Hagar had a slave, or the Abram had a slave, or Abram couldn't, let's see, wait. We always blame the woman. Sarai could not give Abram a child because it's her fault, right? So she gave her slave Hagar. All right. So the very first line comes out, what we would consider, having a slave, that's repulsive. That's not a moral teaching we would want. Just having a slave alone, and then forcibly giving that woman, there's no consent implied.
No,
implied. None implied. It's like, this is my slave. The New Testament, the NIV version calls her slave. I don't know if older versions soften it, but they don't tend to do that. I'm just saying, they usually make them harder when you look. But that's just kind of what I'm saying. So almost every sentence in it, there's one I say sentence, scripture, numbered scripture. There's one or two numbered scriptures that's like, she sat down and cried or something. And that's, so that's not offensive in that fashion. It's got a little song. But here's the deal. The thing that I learned is that this angel comes to her and goes, hey, what's going on? And she goes, I'm being mistreated because of this person. Angel's like, you got to go back and do what the person wants to, be servile to your master, whatever. But know that you're going to be blessed. The Lord has blessed you with a child. Your child is going to have many children, many descendants. And your child is going to be a son of a bitch, a pain in the ass, a bastard, and nobody's going to want to deal with him. He's going to be just right. That's literally what it says. I mean, not literally. That it goes right. He's going to be a mule. Let me find that chapter. I still have it up from where I was doing the research.
You know how many people, when I've talked about that that scripture, how many people in the comment section have told me Hagar would have been honored to be Abraham's wife. And I'm like, first off, doesn't say she became his wife. And second, who are you to say that a slave would want to be her master's sex slave now?
Right. Okay. So it does become interesting that in the NIV version, like I mentioned earlier, does indeed still call her a slave. However, it does at one point say she's given to him as a wife. At least this version, right? Well, this version, right? This is like the soft candy version. So if you know any kind of older version, it may not. Again, the reason why I use this is because this is one of the most popular. This is what I'm going to argue with against almost anybody. It's idiocy, really.
True.
Anyway, so it says the Lord has kept me from having children. This is Sarai, you know. It's my fault. Go sleep with my slave. Perhaps I can build a family through her. Wait, was that the point I was trying to make? Well, anyway, but as we go through that, that's one of the things I do remember is that everything in there, almost every sentence, every numbered scripture would be a horrific moral story. So Ryan, if you can't get pregnant, it's your fault. And rather than bringing in another cock, they bring in another uterus. Isn't that kind of, that's the first thing they do? I mean, maybe
like how many women would they have went through? Like, and none of them got pregnant before they realized that it's, because I'm sure that's happened. You know, I am absolutely certain that's happened, but did they ever admit whose fault it was?
And now I would like to, once again, my friends, fall back on the scripture of the Lord. Abram, father of the Abrahamic religion, how many people on this planet are named Abram or Abraham after this man? Abram, father of the religion. That's what he does. He takes a woman as a sex slave, an unwilling sex partner. And there's more. There's actually more. There's a lot. I kind of don't want to spoil my video, but almost every scripture, because I want to do a video on it. Obviously, almost every scripture in this is unfortunate.
I mean, the woman was probably came from one of the episodes. She was probably a gift of some sorts, or they bought her when they were in Egypt during that whole debacle. So there was no point in this relationship that this poor woman, Hagar, thank goodness she's named at least. Okay. So there is that. We can say that, but unfortunate that people would look at her and think like, oh goodness, how blessed she was. Get the fuck out of here.
Okay, one of the things I was going for a minute ago, and I got distracted because, squirrel, but I wrote it down this time in case I do indeed get distracted. All right, so they go through this. Abram is like, all right, I will take your slave into my bed and marry her as well. Apparently they can have more than one, because it did not annul Sarai's marriage to him, but it does. So, all right, anyway, so he's like, all right, I'll go ahead and I'll have sexy time with your slave. And they go through all these desperate actions and blah, 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 blah. But why? Why did he do that? Didn't he trust in the Lord? Didn't one of the first and biggest prophets of the Bible trust in the Lord? The Lord himself in the very previous chapter had said, you will have children and they will outnumber the stars in the sky. He didn't say you will have to rape your wife's slave and you will have children. He just told him you'll have children. Why didn't Abram, later Abraham, father of, once again, I got to say it, the Abrahamic religions, not trust the word of the Lord? If he couldn't trust the word of the Lord, #truth, where was his faith?
Where was his faith? Why did he not wait on God? Isn't that what we were told to do all our life? Wait on God.
And what did he get for it? For not waiting? Oh, sure, he got a son who became the father of many. No, he got a son, sure, who is...
He got a chance to kill his son. What are you talking about?
Well,
that
that's
was
the first son.
Best gift ever.
No, he did not. He didn't try to kill the good son. He was the first son, right? Anyway, hold on. He said, the Lord... Take the slaves into your hands. Man, let me just find it where I'm trying to find the scriptures here on the fly. What?
True? Locked on Law?
What?
Is that true? No, but history does record that Hag is just short for Hagar.
Hagar. Oh, really? Hagar. Really? A hag.
Wowsies.
That is interesting.
I'll have to look that up.
I did not know that. Yeah.
There's several things that have come from the Bible that are derogatory. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, you're right. You're right. Oh, yeah. I'm surprised Eve isn't a bad word.
To be fair.
Yeah. Here we go, though. All right, so the angel of the Lord told her, go back to your mistress and submit to her, despite the fact that Hagar had told the angel she was being abused. Anyway, the angel added, I will increase your descendants so much that they will be too numerous to count, because that's a blessing.
Bitch, I don't want to have kids in this life. The hell you talking about?
Right. So, but I want to. So then apparently the angel sings to her. My friends here in the chat and whatnot, I am not going to sing this. It's written in the chat for the sing. It says, you are now pregnant and you will give birth to a son. You shall name him Ishmael, for the Lord has heard of your misery. That's a very catchy tune, by the way. Now, that's very cool, right? You're going to have a son. Hey, listen, babies with penises are the best kind of babies. If it doesn't have a penis, it's not a good baby. Am I right? In the Bible, they have almost zero value for babies.
I don't think they ever...
They never... Well, there's a coin value. Not on girls, though. Not on little girls. Anyway. But yeah, so that's the cool. So you're gonna have a male child. That's great, right? But the very next part of the song is almost like a curse on you. He will be a wild donkey of a man. His hand will be against everyone, and everyone's hand against him, and he will live in hostility towards all his brothers. This is the reward you get for being... I know. Somebody became a member. Daryl, thank you for becoming a channel supporter. We're cheap. It's only
and GE as well. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, no, I did not. Did GE become a channel? Oh, a bronze level member. Look at GE. Yeah. Thank you, John. We appreciate that. I did not see that. I was ranting about something. Probably I was either ranting about something or trying to remember what it was I wanted to rant about. One of them. The challenge is here. It's among us now. Yeah. Let's see. Caitlin, Chloe, good morning, Casey. Thank you for joining us. Man, it's so wonderful to have all you fantastic people here. I dropped a couple of you guys. I know y'all are very busy. I'm hoping, have you had the opportunity to see my video? It's subtle because I'm a subtle person. The title is Donald Trump is the biggest terrorist in the world.
Oh, fuck.
Have you seen that? And MAGA is the biggest.
I promise I am going to watch today.
Oh yeah. Well, Ryan is so wonderful. I'll hug you. I was talking to John and Casey. I was asking if they had seen it. But you'll watch it today too. Good for you. Good for you. Yeah. Well, it was more about John because he has a penis. We don't care what the women think.
And Kip probably too.
Kip, good morning, Kip. Thank you for joining us. A chemical squirrel says, Chris, did you also notice?
Isn't that important?
He is a doctor. Oh, he's a penis with a doctorate.
It's like another level, right?
Interesting. Yeah, I think it is. Left-Handed Jedi has become a member. Thank you, Left-Handed Jedi. Very much appreciate you. All of you wonderful people. Thank you for that. Chemical Squirrel says, Chris, did you also notice in Genesis that God intended for people to be vegetarian? It wasn't until the original sin that man was allowed to eat animals. I want to share some thoughts with you guys because you're my friends. But did you know that is in a way true? But did you know the first murderer in the Bible is a vegan? A vegetarian, a man who growed his vegetables and depended on vegetables, killed that first meat grower person.
Yeah, when I was like, I did that little short video on the flat Earth thing about the Bible. I had reread that again, and I was like, yeah, I kind of forgot it. That there's some little details you just forget, and I had forgotten all about that. God made all the plants and the fruiting trees and yada 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 for not only humans but for the animals as well.
Oh yeah, right. That's true. So allegedly, we were before the original sin. So that blames man. That essentially blames Adam or Cain. Is it Cain for this one?
What?
Somewhere, man or Cain gets Cain for having to eat animals. Animals are subjugated to us.
Oh, Cain, because he killed Abel. Is that what you're saying?
I was kind of asking if that was what was going on.
Yeah. Okay. I think so. Probably. I think that's what they're saying, and that I think that sounds about right. I feel like I've heard that before, but even though it doesn't say that, so it's one of those just made up shits.
Yes. Okay. So if we continue going on the Bible, the first murder committed in the world, according to the Bible, was done in the name of God, for the love of God, for the attention of God.
Yes.
That's what it was. Now, what are the punishments in the Bible for bad things? What are the punishments in the Bible? Death. Death is a punishment in the Old Testament from God. Death, plagues. He likes to plague people. If you look at Lot, is it Lot? Job. Lot. Job. Which one? Damn it. Oh, Job, who gets tormented by God, right?
Yeah.
That's an expression of what God lays out as different punishments. He goes through kind of like all his various punishments on Job just to find out what Job will go through. I just kind of, all right, so those are kind of the punishments.
He kind of tests all his weapons. He's like Israel, how Israel tests their weapons on Palestinians. God was testing his weapons on Job just to see like, what can I do? I've never really like tried out all my superpower. What can I do? Let's do this. Might have been fun for him, I guess.
It may have been. Man, I was going somewhere and I don't know where I was going.
Oh, darn. I'm so sorry. Damn it.
No, I was going somewhere. I was over here looking at my notes even. I remember he's the first person to kill. That's kind of where the first person to kill in the name of God, and that's where we were going. Man, we're talking
damn.
Job. No,
Job,
that's all right.
Job is what we were talking about.
Yeah, he was demonstrating his powers to hurt. Okay, all right, I got it, my friends. I got it. Sins of Cain. That's where the text comes from. Here we are, my friends. Here we are. So we have established what the punishments are that God uses when God does not like someone. These are the punishments of the God of the Bible. Now, let's discuss, my friends, again, what are the blessings that the God of Bible visits upon a person for doing good in his eyes?
Blessings. He gives you land and babies.
Land, babies, long life. You live a long life. That's part of the big deal. You live a long life.
Yeah.
Long
Took
life.
that away though.
He took away the extremely long life, but they still had a long life compared to us. It was as opposed to a short life. They did anyway, but a long life, lots of babies, your own land. So we've got the description of what happens to people who are sinful and wicked, and this
rain, good harvest.
Yeah, the description of what happens when people are good, what God does to these people. Which one of those does God visit upon Cain for the sin of slaying his own brother?
He sends him off and he gets to marry and create his own town, and he doesn't get killed ever.
He has his own city. He gets to marry and have children, and he gets a very long life.
Can't touch this.
He gets all the best rewards God could possibly give him for killing his own brother. No, they say, oh, we're going to discipline you. And then after that, it's like giving you all the good shit.
Yeah, that's not discipline. Yeah.
It's like the parent getting called to the school because your child has been bad. And then, okay, I'm going to go discipline my son. And on the way home, take him to a movie and then to get an ice cream and buy him a new toy. Yeah.
Right. Now, if you sent him out to his room, or you sent him to like an area where there's nobody else ever and he was by himself, that could be considered a punishment. But he went where people already worse, like sending your kid into the room to stay when they can play and you don't take their games away so they can just play games all day. It just wasn't a punishment. He probably went there and got the frick a bunch of biatches.
That's true. I want to mention also, at this point in the Bible, there's only one job in the world that has literally been cursed by God. The only one we know of, the only job in the world that has been cursed by God.
Oh, to till the land? Yeah.
To till the land.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What was Cain doing? He was tilling the land. He was doing the hardest job already and giving his thing to God. Now,
yep.
One of the punishments for Cain was that he was no longer allowed to work the land. So in other words, he had to listen. You have to go get a job, any job that's literally easier than the one you're doing now. These are all the punishments for Cain.
He had a hard freaking life. Poor guy.
Apparently, yeah. Anyway, let me see. Dr. Kip is in the house, so maybe I'm misinterpreting all of this. Of course, I mean, I'm just taking it off face value, right? I never claimed to do more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Many times I say I could be mistaken, but
I think for this part, I think that part is pretty straightforward. I think in this little section.
Mm-hmm. I think so. You know what I'm going to do? We have not done Holy Halos in a couple of days. The people are here. I think what we're going to do is we're going to give them some Holy Halos. We'll be back in a few minutes. Enjoy. Next up in the bark bank, a clergyman with a holy hustle and maybe a few unholy loopholes.
Hi, Barks. Blessings and belly rubs to you all. I'm Father Flanagan, and today I'm here seeking $50,000 for 3% of my soul-saving startup, Holy Halos, the world's first, soon-to-be, church-approved condoms. Following the ways of the Lord can be hard and often require sacrifices of the flesh. Well, fear not, my wayward child. Introducing Father Flanagan's line of Holy Halo condoms.
Hold on, Father. The church very much doesn't like condoms. How do you expect to sell these?
Well, you're right, but these aren't just any condoms. No, my furry financiers, these are permeable. But every single halo has been dipped in holy water, a divine divider between you and sin. You can finally frolic freely and still keep that sweet spot in heaven. Permeable, but dipped in holy water to keep the sin out, but let the babies in.
Let you get your stick wet without getting your stick stuck,
if you know what I mean.
Oh my! Very embarrassing every time.
So basically they don't work as condoms, but they let you get away with having sex without going to hell?
Exactly. The church gets to keep making babies, but you don't have to keep going to confession. Think of it. No more guilt, no more awkward I'm saving myself for marriage speeches. With Holy Halos, you can take those pray hands and turn them into lay hands.
Didn't I read that holy water is full of bacteria like E. coli? Won't this be harmful to women's health?
The words are English, but I don't understand the question.
How are you addressing the issue holy water presents for women's health?
Again, I'm not understanding.
She does that. Well, we don't get it either.
Is that mesh from a window screen?
Ah, that's a keen eye you have there, young lass. Yes. Another fine selling point, rough on the outside to increase her shame, as it should be, but soft and smooth on the inside, internally lubed and ribbed for his pleasure. We even have custom scents.
Scents? Now you have my attention. What flavors we talking? Don't pitch me that vanilla missionary nonsense, Padre.
Well, we do have virgin vanilla, but we also have miracle mint and cooing camel, and my personal favorite, sweat of the Savior.
And the Vatican, they've blessed this endeavor?
Well, not exactly. I'm still waiting on the papal decree one way or the other.
I love it, but you're asking 50 grand for only 3%. That's rough, Father, real rough.
Not running with the big dogs on this one. I'm gonna stay on the porch.
Me too. Good luck, Father. 15%.
Ouch, 15%, that's highway robbery even for the church.
Come on, Father, we're dogs. We know a bone when we see one. 10%, and we'll even bless your branding.
Look, meet me in the middle, 7%, and I'll baptize all your puppies.
7% works for me. Father Flanagan, it looks like
Wait a second. Our producers say we have a special call-in bidder. Let's get him up on the screen. Folks, we have the guardian of the sacred fire hydrant himself.
Oh no.
Defender of the holy tennis ball and eater of the golden kibble, Pup Oliver Poops a Lot the fifth.
Flanagan!
I guess you're pooped.
50,000 at 20%.
20%?
And you get to keep calling yourself a father.
Sold to the pup in the very fine hat.
I knew you'd see it my way.
You're very wise, Your Hiney. Would there be anything else?
You may leave.
Father Flanagan's line of holy halos, ultra thin, spiritually thick. Available in 3 sizes: conservative, medium, and liberal. All right, we are back. The Awfulist is in Texas. Olaf from Texas. Blink twice if you need help. If you're under duress, just blink twice. Okay? There's like hand signs you can use to let us know if you're in danger. Which I said, I know it's probably a crass joke to make, but it's good to know, even if you learn it through a joke. I didn't know about it until that a woman got saved by using that little hand gesture.
Yeah, I think you go like that.
Yeah. I had no idea that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's cool, right? That there can be like a unanimous symbol that we all know.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. So that is kind of cool. Yeah. So good morning, everyone. Hell's Bells is here. My Adkison is here. I think Dr. Kip was on my Adkison's show the other day. Kip's been getting around lately. Kip wrote a book too, by the way. Is Steve here? Steve still here? You know who needs to write a book if they haven't? John, Godless Engineer. He needs to write a book. He just needs to settle down and write a book. I mean, it wouldn't take him long.
Settle down now.
Yeah, just record some of the crap you say, like this thing you say and this thing you say and this thing. Put them all in a book, right? And then sell it to people. Easy.
People buy it.
People buy it. That's right. Mike, Kip's a whore.
I have a book to show.
I've heard that about you.
Maya. Come up here and show us something, Kip, and you can show that book all you want.
KC says John needs to write a book in all his free time. Yeah, he does. Probably doesn't have any. He's probably a very busy person,
I would imagine.
I don't know. This is a crazy world. We live in a crazy world. Everybody's circumstances could change at any moment. Bro Cephas. Yeah, I'd like to see Bro Cephas write a book. Would it be in crayon?
Bro Cephas.
Bro Cephas? You don't know who Bro Cephas is? Bro Cephas is to Godless Engineer what Wild Bill Wigglestick is to Chris Mallard.
Oh, yes. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's right. That's right.
Anthony Fremont is in the chat, says, I'm sorry, Daddy. I'm sorry. Father, forgive me. I misread it. Must confess I wasted quite a few bad guys today in GTA 5. Yes. Yeah, they deserved it. They probably deserved it. See, and that's the whole deal, Anthony. Rest in peace. Rest assured knowing that if you unalive them in the name of Jesus, that makes it okay. I mean, it really won't work in a court of law, but these are video games, right? This is video games. What we're talking about. Video game.
I think, is it next year they're coming out with the next one? The next release?
I don't know.
I thought I heard something about the next GTA coming out.
Right. Bro Cephas is GE's Hillbilly Twin. Yes, Hillbilly Twin. That's cool. I got to see Bro Cephas live and in person. Yeah. One of the most distinct things that just sticks in my memory, about the experience was the smell. But once you got past that, everything was great. No, it's
no comment.
No comment.
No comment.
No, John was a lot of fun. John, Angie, and of course Bro Cephas were a lot of fun to meet.
Yeah, you're lucky you got to go.
Yeah, Bro Cephas and Wild Bill Wigglestick, along with, of course, with Willie the Kid, could probably do like a short film together, getting lost somewhere, offended everybody. Dave Murphy says atheists are terrorists according to the Trump administration.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
You know, I didn't get to see, did you get to see GE or Casey's answer as to whether or not they saw my video about Trump being a terrorist? I did not. Chat goes fast.
I was going to say the chat's moving fast. And I didn't even have it on the live chat. I just realized, like a ding dong.
Yeah, did I do that too? But anyway, John and Casey, if you don't mind responding again, répondez s'il vous plaît. Did you get to see my video? Okay, no, that's awesome. It's not very long. It's kind of short. It's importante. But really, whenever you think about it, the title kind of says it alone. Donald Trump is the biggest terrorist in the world. He uses threats of violence and financial threats and all kinds of threats for political gains. He threatens entire nations, and they capitulate to where Osama bin Laden would threaten these nations, and they would not capitulate because Osama bin Laden couldn't destroy their economy the way Donald Trump does. But what Donald Trump does, he is literally the biggest terrorist in the world.
He's a big fat meanie.
He is a big fat meanie. Trump is the top of my chain of command. Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying he threatened New York City if Mom Donnie gets elected. He said he's not going to send them funding, federal funding.
Yeah.
Withhold it.
What the hell?
You're going to punish a whole city because of the person that they chose. The constituents chose their representative, and now you're going to punish them because that's punishing the people.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
Absolutely. Well, that's kind of the purpose of the thing. And it really goes a long way to say about what's going on. That really wasn't the topic of the show. I've been trying to keep it light, guys, but it is so hard to keep these topics light whenever so much is going on in the world. KC says in the chat, I haven't. It's been a couple of crazy planning days. Well, Chris Mordecai publicly in a couple of yes, but there's also things that are happening throughout the next couple of months that are going to be crazy. And as far as what Donald Trump is going to be doing. And the more desperate he's going to be getting as the closer we get to this election. If they lose the House and if they lose enough, we'll get Donald Trump out and we'll be able to actually prosecute him. That Mike Johnson even openly said that's a fear they have.
I think that they're just making themselves look like fools. And I think that the public will start to pick up what's being put down. I know there's lots of people that will just hold on for dear life because, that's what they do. But I think a lot of people are coming to their senses. Well, mostly because they're starting to feel it themselves, Right. But whatever, hey, whatever it takes, please, finally get it through your brain. This man is not ever choosing you. He will never choose you. He's always going to choose his rich cohorts.
Which time? Every
time. Yeah, exactly. Every single time. It's never going to be you, honey.
Never. Sometimes the chat goes muy fasto, and sometimes I see things that I understand, and sometimes whenever I see too many things that I can't understand, I usually take off my glasses. But anyway, in this case, I saw something and it went by. I don't know if it's a joke or not.
Oh,
but I thought in my chat here for this program only goes up so far. I thought GE said, I thought it was in a joking fashion when I read it the first time. Oh, haha, that's funny. Did one of you say GE had been furloughed? And if so, is that because of the government shutdown?
I think he did say he was furloughed earlier.
Okay, I thought I saw part of my brain did register that. I just wasn't. Sometimes I skip along. I thought it was a joke. I thought she's being sarcastic.
We've said before how sometimes we see things, but for whatever, they're in our brain and they don't pop up till later. But I'm sorry. That sucks, John. I'm sorry to hear that. What the fuck?
Yeah. I want to say briefly, and I won't go into it too much. I feel your pain. I made a video that hopefully you guys will get to watch here in a little bit, calling Trump a fascist or a terrorist. And I've stopped making those videos because somebody I care about is attached to the government and we're afraid of governmental reprisal. So that's part of the reason why I've tried to steer away from talking about all of it as much as I could. I've already got the excuse. This is a funny morning show. You come here and relax and don't worry. So I can use that as an excuse. But I really had to put a hard stop on calling out Trump for what the fuck he is videos for the same reason, just because we're worried about that. We too will be very pooched, you know. I mean, we get by, but it's not one of those things, you know. Anyway, Senator
Things
Graff,
are only going to get worse because those cuts haven't even hit for the wealthy and stuff that we're going to end up paying for. So it ain't good now. It's only going to get worse.
GE says, I support the reasons the Dems are voting against the CR, and I think that they don't need to blink right now. You know, I feel you. For those out there, it's hard. You know, that's another point, if I may. Let me just do this once again. I may play the video here on the show in just a minute. It's not that long. It's driving me fucking crazy. But they blame the Democrats for shutting down the government. Remember, I already told you, I think, why the government is still shut down and all that business. But Donald Trump, they're all the ones in office. They're all the ones in power. They have all the power. Let me go here. Sorry, guys. But what I was going to say is whenever they blame the Democrats for going to shut down the government, and what does Donald Trump do? He threatens. He literally comes out and says, if you shut down the government, I'm going to fire people. Mm-hmm. I'm going to hurt people if you shut down the government. That's his entire message. You know, it is 7:50. I'm going to do this thing right quick. Normally we take a commercial in a few minutes. I just got to show you guys this video. It's not a long video. You'll understand. Me and Ryan will be like, oh my God, again with this jackass.
Jackie.
Let me just play this for you guys real quick. Let me go over here, and it's not terribly long. I think it is kind of terribly long. I won't play all of it though.
Agree, Dade. Agree.
What did Dade say?
He said, blaming the Democrats when you have a supermajority is just poor governance. And Absolutely. I did see polls where people were polling that they agree that it's Republicans' fault. A majority of people do realize that it is their fault.
Yeah, they know.
Because of that majority.
You can almost guarantee anytime the conservatives are blaming the Democrats for fucking anything, it's something they're doing. All right, so here we go.
Anymore. That's the game.
Yes, let's see just guys, I won't play the whole video, but just here, you'll get a gist of the situation. Let me go here and here real quick. And here.
Donald Trump is the biggest terrorist in the world, and the MAGA GOP is the most powerful terrorist organization alive today. Osama bin Laden would have loved to have killed as many Americans as Donald Trump has with just his moronic approach to COVID during his first term, and by stealing Medicare and Medicaid from millions of Americans in his second term. More Americans right now live in fear of Donald Trump than ever lived in fear of Muslim terrorists. I'm just some guy living in the middle of nowhere, USA. Islamic terrorists were never a threat to me. But MAGA and Trump are.
Okay. Let me pause right there and ask you guys: am I wrong in that? Am I wrong in that? Come over here, Chris. That more Americans right now live in fear of Donald Trump than lived in fear of Osama bin Laden or any of those terrorists.
Always.
Yeah, I mean, Donald Trump is a threat to every American, and every American right now is in fear of him. And what does he do? He threatens. Let me get back onto the video. That's a point I had to make and go, am I wrong? Whenever I call him a terrorist, he is the biggest terrorist in the world. So on with the show, man. Get your face off the screen for your other face to be on the screen.
A very real threat. Nations that would never capitulate to terrorists are bending the knee to Trump due to his threats. The terrorists couldn't destroy that nation's economy the way Trump can. News networks that stood defiant against Muslim extremists even after threatened with violence and even after they attacked Charlie Hebdo and unalived so many people, the media stood firm. Donald Trump is using lawfare to sue the largest news media outlets in the world, and unlike any threat before, they are capitulating to Trump's threats and demands. How is this not terrorism? By every legal and functional definition of terrorism, Trump and MAGA politicians qualify, and history gives us the tools to understand exactly how. Let's circle back and define terrorism. U.S. law defines terrorism under Title 18,
Section 2331 of the U.S. Code is acts that endanger human life and are intended to intimidate or coerce civilians or influence government policy. International law adds the same core elements, including the United Nations Conventions and the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. The elements are clear: violence, intimidation, coercion, and political ends. When Islamic terrorists planned attacks, the world called it terrorism. When Trump planned and executed attacks on everyone from peaceful protesters denying them their First Amendment rights to killing unidentified people in boats in international waters, we should accurately label that as terrorism as well. When Boko Haram kidnapped children to create fear and force their religio-political agenda, the world called it terrorism. When Donald Trump uses ICE agents to kidnap immigrants and their children from their homes, work, and school, whether they were undocumented or not, we should call that terrorism. When the Ku Klux Klan lynched Black Americans to control communities, the world recognized it as terrorism. When Trump's Supreme Court said it was okay to racially profile people of color in order to detain them, that should be recognized as racial terrorism. Donald Trump has threatened to label millions of Americans, Democrats, and anyone who speaks badly of him as extremists. He uses tariffs to punish entire populations of other countries for not towing his political line. We should call that terrorism. The label cannot be reserved just for people overseas or for brown people. It applies to Trump and the MAGA GOP here at home. Let's talk about their domestic terror tactics. Trump has deployed military forces against civilians exercising their First Amendment rights. In Los Angeles, he federalized the California National Guard over the objections of the governor and added hundreds of active duty Marines to the streets of the United States of America to intimidate protesters. Peaceful protesters and journalists were hit with tear gas, rubber bullets, and chemical irritants. Courts later ruled these actions illegal. Why isn't Trump in jail? He ordered illegal actions against American citizens and violated their rights overtly and intentionally. Impeach, remove, convict, imprison is the answer to that problem. In Washington, D.C., Trump declared a crime emergency, seized operational control of the Metropolitan Police, and unleashed stop and frisk patrols along with the National Guard troops. Federal judges described these measures as intimidation. Trump revoked security clearances from dozens of current and former officials as retaliation for disloyalty. Is that not wrong? Not only is that wrong in and of itself, but it also frightens others into silence and compliance. Terrorism. This mirrors tactics used by regimes throughout history. Mussolini's black shirts patrolled Italian cities with the blessings of the state, breaking strikes and terrorizing civilians. Pinochet used his armed forces to patrol Chilean streets, disappearing dissidents in the name of order. The Klan operated with local police looking the other way, beating and killing to enforce racial control. Trump's actions are the MAGA American version of this long and bloody playbook. It's just going to get worse unless we impeach, remove, convict, and imprison Donald Trump and all the politicians who have kept him in power and who have shielded him from accountability for his actions. All those conservatives voting to block the Epstein files would be a good place to start. What does he have on them? I'd like to know. Lawfare as terror. Terror through the courts. Trump has twisted the law into a weapon. He targeted law firms like Perkins, Coy, Covington, and Paul Weiss with executive orders that suspended contracts, revoked security clearances, and punished them for what? For defending his political opponents. Right. How is that not authoritarianism, fascism bullshit? Right there. For defending his political opponents. And the lawyers caved. He sued media outlets like ABC, CBS, the New York Times, and Penguin Random House, demanding billions of dollars. These suits are designed specifically as intimidation campaigns to silence criticism through financial fear. Trump's officials have even floated the idea of labeling the Democratic Party an extremist organization. That is the first step towards criminalizing their entire political opposition. Tens of millions of Americans would instantly become suspects under their own government. If anything, MAGA should be considered an extremist organization, and the MAGA government officials, not the entire MAGA population, they have been lied to, but the MAGA officials should be removed from office, arrested, convicted, and face whatever punishment treason and overthrowing our democracy calls for. History is filled with leaders who used courts to terrorize. Stalin held show trials where enemies were convicted before proceedings even began. Jim Crow laws used the courts to legitimize terror against Black Americans and to crush civil rights. Apartheid South Africa weaponized legal systems to enforce white supremacy. Trump stands in that same shameful tradition. This is constitutionalized terror. It uses the appearance of legality to normalize political violence and terror. Rhetorical and psychological terror. Trump governs through fear. His words are threats, dominate the streets. If you go after me, I'm coming after you. The radical left are terrorists. This is stochastic terrorism. Leaders like Trump incite violence without issuing direct orders. Their followers interpret the signals and act. Election workers receive death threats. Judges are harassed at their homes. Journalists are stalked online and in person. And Democratic politicians like Melissa Hortman are shot to death in their fucking homes. The violence is outsourced, but the message is unmistakable. Donald Trump supports this kind of political violence, and his response to Hortman's death bears that out. Vance Bolter did Trump's dirty work, and Trump couldn't be happier. There's probably a Trump presidential pardon and Medal of Honor in Bolter's future. Okay, that's more of as much as my left-wing nonsense rhetorical bullshit you're going to get for today, my friends. So let me go here. Stop sharing.
He's pulling out every arrow in his arsenal. Every branch of the government that he can use against the people, against his enemies, he's going to do it. He's trying to do it, or I should say.
So, in effect, literally, Donald Trump is using terror to control the world. He's the biggest terrorist in the world. If they resist, he crushes them, even his own people. So that's about halfway through the video, people. If you want the rest, you got to go watch the thing. I should put a link here just to make it easy on you.
Yeah, you should.
Copy. I don't really kind of go political very often in the thing. And a lot of my videos lately, you may notice I've been trying to increase the quality with like swooshes or pictures and stuff like this. But I wrote this one, I recorded it, and then it's just, like, do we really want to do this? Do we want to shoot ourselves in the foot now? Kind of thing. And I'm like, well, let me crank this left. I can't shut myself up. There we go.
Yeah, I agree, Bree. It's like he asked Putin how to consolidate absolute power.
He did. Well, there's a couple of things going on. I actually think he's a lapdog of Putin. The thing is that if
he doesn't think he is.
Hey, yeah, he may or may not. That's a tough call there, isn't it?
It is a tough call.
I think he kind of knows because he doesn't resist. He doesn't treat Putin like he treats other. But
yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah. They had that convention, it was a gathering of leaders of the world, like a month ago, and Putin attended, and it was here in the United States, I believe. And all the rest of the world leaders just showed up however they got there. Vladimir Putin, when he got off his plane, he had American troops rolling out literally a red carpet for him.
Red carpet.
So
and we got to see Trump waddle. We got to see his cankles waddle down the zigzagging like he's drinking all night, like he was binge drinking and woke up and had a hangover.
Yeah. Dave Murphy, I feel your sentiment here. I used to love it. But I got to be honest, I was pretty young whenever I kind of woke up to the reality of what our country is and the history of it. Sort of like what we see going on in the world with all this racism is less about a swell of racism and more about it's always been there and it's just the mask is coming off and sort of thing. Yeah, America has always been racist. I mean, we were founded with racism. Freedom for all men, unless you're black. Right?
I mean, we were getting there. I think we were getting better-ish, not good. We were getting better-ish, but
we, the people of reason, had struggled enough and reached a point to where we could actually see a black man as the president, and they just could not handle that. That was the swell. I mean, and the notion, I mean, I love me some Kamala Harris, but the notion. I love her, really. I think she could have been. I think she actually won the presidency. If you want to know, I'm one of those conspiracy theorists who literally believes, and there's an investigation, several of them going on, that so far have borne it out. And there's actually an organization, I really should shill them out, that they're actually actively doing investigations and trying to promote investigations. Anyway, so I believe that she could have. But the notion that a black man or a black woman could be president was just too much for some people in this world. So there's that. Let's see what Casey is here. Hive Size here. Good morning, Bree. Thank you for joining us. Jester is here. Dade Murphy, black people have never been counted among the we and the people. That, can't say you're wrong. I know. Here's the deal. All right, let me finish reading this. Dade Murphy says, black people have never been counted among the we and the people, and therefore the Constitution never really applied to us. Too many of us have had to fight to be considered people. Now, that's true. And Donald Trump has even, now, as far as the Constitution goes, there is a small part, a teeny part of the Constitution that is actually written almost specifically for them. And that one part is one of the specific parts that Donald Trump and his white supremacist MAGA conservative politicians are looking to destroy. They literally left it out of his book, his Bible, right? Well, what is it? The
amendments, you mean?
The amendments, yeah.
Right, but they're amendments.
Yeah, he left out the women's right to vote amendment.
They're not in the original Constitution.
Yeah. He left out quite a bit of it. Oh, do you remember the 2/3 a person thing? Do you remember that? I'm not that we were old enough to remember that. I learned it in school. There was a time
I learned it. Yeah.
Yeah. I believe when it came to voting, a black person was considered 2/3 a person. Am I correct, or was it a fifth? They would count up all the black votes and then take off a third.
Then deduct.
Yeah. And I was corrected a long time ago by Miss oh goodness gracious. I'll think of her name in a second. I was corrected by her about Cynthia McDonald. I was corrected. She taught me, helped me understand about racism, the term and the understanding. And some things you just forget. And I kind of forgot my understandings. And then the other day we were talking, and as I kind of do, we talk things. And I realized, I think they're on the show. I think I mean actually bigotry as opposed to racism because X, Y, Z. And I've had that thought in my head. And once again, I'm like here going, oh shit, I misspoke. Yeah. That wouldn't be racism. Racism is this huge thing that it's bigger than a guy in the store.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to say is that I'm not saying that a black person, a Chinese can't be mean or couldn't treat me bad or absolutely, but they don't take part of the system. They would be at the behest of the white racist system. So
that's true. Actually,
likely we would be able to see more justice as a white victim, if anything.
That's true. And if anything, their actions would be a reaction, not an action. So I learned a lot. I use my words. I learned things. So there's that. Let me see here. What other wonderful things are going on? We got so many wonderful people in the chat today. Hi, Hypatia Stanhope. Thank you for joining us. White fragility is very strong with liberal people too. I don't know. I think that's I don't know. That's a hard one. They're probably not right. That's one of those things that goes really varies from person to person. But if you were going to go per capita or average per person, which group has more white ego fragility? I would say the conservative tends to have more white ego fragility. And then I would also state and go further that says that not only do they have more of them per capita, but whenever they do react to that, it's more likely to be with vitriol, with hate, and with violence than a left-wing person is if they have the same feelings. So there's that. Those are my thinkings. Chemical Squirrel says, I'm going to go into the void to scream now. Well, has Chemical Squirrel been saying things? Sang-Ji is here. I noticed Sang-Ji has not been here for a while. Sang-Ji, thank you for joining us this morning. I appreciate your time. All of you wonderful people. Dade Murphy, yes. I was just looking to see. John Hudson's taking us on the road. So if he has any kind of crashes or anything, he's going to blame us. I was listening to damn atheists on the road and I ran over this deer and I couldn't help but fuck the deer. You know how John is. Just good morning, John.
I'd be afraid to piss John off on the road.
Yes.
Just saying.
Double G videos. Glenn, good morning, Glenn. Politics is the entertainment branch of the 1%. Yeah. Here's a question I have. Now, you've heard me, if you've been on the show, you've heard me rail against Fox News, OAN, and all that shit, and how they should have been sued out of existence. Donald Trump comes into office, and what does Donald Trump do? He does exactly that to the opponents, to CBS, to PBS, all the big ones. He goes after them financially and starts targeting them. Why didn't Joe Biden do that? Could Joe Biden's presidency administration sue Fox News? If so, can Gavin Newsom's presidency, governorship, whatever, sue Fox News? And if they can, why aren't they?
They better be.
And when they did, Fox News did get sued for misleading people. They reached into their pocket and they found the tiniest little bit of change they could find, and they cast it out on the thing and they said, "Here, take that."
Right.
It didn't hurt them a bit.
That's like a slap in the face.
Yeah, they have advertising campaigns bigger than the penalty they paid out. So, Vivek Ramaswamy alone could have paid out that fine and still come away with $250 million at the time. So this notion that no, they should go after them. Like Donald Trump, what did he do? He sued. He tried suing the New York Times for $100 billion. Right. For I think it was for what various different things had something to do with
that was just absolutely ridiculous.
But what he brings is crap, and these suits get thrown out because he is just shit he's throwing at the wall. But we actually on the other side have proof of intentional misinformation. Why aren't they doing the suits? Why aren't they suing these people? Why? I mean, Fox News should be sued out of existence. $750 million was not enough. $750 billion would not be enough. We were talking on the day, what's $1 billion anymore these days? What is $1 billion fucking dollars? That's a lot of fucking money. The government cut off PBS's $1.1 per year billion annual. PBS is big enough to have. So, I mean, that was nothing for Fox News. Fox News needs to pay. $1 trillion isn't enough. What they need to do is like $5 or $6 trillion or $10 trillion to where Fox News people are standing out on the street selling Fox News memorabilia for like $0.25, and they got it in their little cup and they're shaking it. And of course, with the coming Nuremberg trials, all the Fox News hosts really need to be very, very closely involved with that. Not in reviewing it for the people. I'm just saying they need to be brought to justice for what they've done to our nation. It's kind of how I feel about it.
Oh, I agree 100%.
Yeah.
I can't even believe that so many people capitulate so easily, because that's the worst thing that we can do. We can't just bend over. We can't just roll over. And the people who they're standing to gain something. They think that in the end, they're going to win in this. They're going to have some kind of superiority. They're going to be next to the guy in charge or something.
Yeah.
They're going to be his stepping stool, and I guess they get off on that. I don't know, whatever the fuck that you would capitulate to this dude, but.
And one of the things that you may hear is, if you're out there watching, you may hear how CBS was wrong and they ended up having to pay $16 million to Donald Trump. Oh, bad them. That's not what happened. They were being sued by Donald Trump. They were going to fight the suit, almost certainly would have won. And then Donald Trump, sycophant, got into the CEO position, and they instead caved and paid $16 million to Donald Trump. That's what happened. I mean, that's the balls to the bones of it in one breath. Go ahead.
Where is this money going? Like, this man has made hand over fist money since he has gotten into office. He has opened the floodgates to all of our government agencies selling us out left and right. Where is the money going?
And that's not all of it. I mean, he is also like a CEO who wants to get past some sort of tariff or something, can literally go pay Donald Trump a couple of $1 million, and they will. I mean, our president is a bought for package, and it's out in the open. I mean, even with like whenever it was during the election and the other one, it was like he started doing the crypto shit. Crypto shit is essentially Donald Trump going, listen, this is how Russia can give me money and you can't track it and you can't do anything about it. And that was They should never have allowed that.
Can you track the amount of money that goes through a wallet?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about it.
I could find that out. I'm just curious if that, I guess you'd have to have the wallet address to be able to do that. But anyway, yeah, there's so he's found so many different ways just to wash money and to give people favors with no one ever knowing the wiser. Well, at least he thinks no one's the wiser. But to be fair, I think there's probably a lot of moles in there feeding information. So at what point this will blow up in his face? I mean, who the frack knows? But
well, we thought the first one would. Yeah, definitely.
We did. We thought.
Yeah, Merrick Garland, if you're watching, just turn it off and go the fuck away. I mean, I got nothing for you, man. You go away. I'm not a fan of Merrick Garland. Zangari RC, good morning. The Art of the Extortion. That's a new name I don't recognize. I hope I said your name right. Zangari. I hope I'm putting the emphasis on the correct syllable. What's the L? What are we doing? Are you calling me a loser, lady? Who is loser? Which one's the
loser? Art of the Extortion.
Oh, yes. Oh, very true. Yeah, the Art of that's a good point. Good point.
Yeah, that guy writing a book.
Yeah, after Trump's presidency is over, he needs to be arrested. Well, my understanding, I've seen various things on the news. My understanding is because of the way he's been disobeying judges and ignoring their orders. Technically, the U.S. Justice Department could go in and remove him from office right now.
What's Article 25 or something like that?
The 25th Amendment, is it 25th Amendment?
Maybe that, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was the one that, is it Pritzker was mentioning that we should, that he was calling for that should, I don't know if that means he's going to try to forward that, but.
The 25th Amendment to the Constitution, ratified in 1967, provides clear procedures for handling the removal, death, did I giggle when I said that, or was it just in my head? Removal, death, resignation, or incapacitation of the president or vice president. There's also something else. I think is it Section 18 of U.S. Code 1368 or some bullshit. I don't know where like if they remove, they really should. There's a lot of things that they could do. They need to remove Donald Trump and all the judges he put in place. The bad apple leads to bad seeds. That's what got us here now, especially when it comes to the Supreme Court. If the Supreme Court, Donald Trump can put these corrupt bitches in the Supreme Court and we can't get them out, then the Supreme Court is useless and it needs to be removed.
It needs immediate revised. Yeah. Immediate. It's so out of balance. No, it's absolutely not working for the people. Yeah. And he's put pawns in there to basically just eradicate our abilities to protect ourselves.
Yeah. Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And he makes laws and he makes things so vague and so blunt, like what it is to be a terrorist now. What is Antifa? I am Antifa. You are Antifa. These people in chat are Antifa. Anybody who is not Donald Trump is Antifa.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid. I just can't even believe these people are so obtuse that they just do not get it. Anyone who's an Antifa. Wait, where's my Antifa card? Hold on. I'm a card carrying Antifa member. Like, because that's how it works. You know, I just have it on my passport. Just so they know.
Oh, yeah. It's tattooed on the end of my penis. So here's the deal. I just want to mention that in Nazi Germany, the Treachery Act of 1934 made it illegal to criticize or mock Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party. People were arrested and executed for mocking Adolf Hitler. However, there's no longer a thing, but all right. So so at one point it was. Now, for those of you who, that is, that's hyperbole. Well, is it hyperbole? Are you familiar with the White Rose, the group of young people, teenagers, who were college students and who were executed by the Nazis for distributing anti-Nazi leaflets?
Yeah, it's a shame.
part of the thing is a lot of people on the right are like, we're not Nazis because they don't look, but we're not doing that. And you know what? They're right. They're not doing that. Yet in Nazi history, there was a time where they weren't doing it either. And they worked up to that point. And if you look, the parallels are just fantastic between the two.
Yeah.
And at this point, to say you can't see the similarities, Donald Trump is putting military forces on American streets against Americans. Do you know who the first victims of the Nazis were? The first ones to die?
In the government?
Hmm?
Was it the government? Like people?
No, well, yeah, but in their own government. Well, you know, well, I'll just, all right. So the people, the very first ones to die were other right-wing people
that weren't far enough.
They weren't the same. They were gonna. There was I think they were called the SA, the Strassen Achtung. Sorry, Germans, if I messed that up. Anyway, it was another group of people, and they ended up killing them all in a night. So a parallel would be if Donald Trump were to round up Marjorie Taylor Greene and all those people trying to push through the Epstein files on the right, for example. The conservatives who are any conservative who stood up against him, that would be kind of what like Hitler did. Hitler went in and killed all of those people. So that's like a modern day analogy, so you have an idea of who they took out first. They took out those people first so they could consolidate power on the right.
Consolidation, baby.
Yeah, the Night of the Long Knives, rational poet Jackie. Yes. So there's that.
Oh,
yeah.
Brother.
And just like Nazism is intricately tied to anti-Semitism, you could also say
what, baby?
MAGAism is tied to anti-trans and anti-gay people. Really, I think anti-trans the way they are, but if you were to compare the two, because the way it's been so blown out. You know, I was comparing, there was this Nazi who was killed before the war. Now, you might hear about this Nazi who was killed during the war. And the Germans had took him and propped him up. And they, even though he was really nobody, he was just a loudmouth. But then after he was killed during the war, they propped him up in all this business. But actually, before the war, there's actually a closer analogy to what we would consider Charlie Kirk. And I can't remember his name right off. I'll look if I've got a script up here with a video. But he was killed before the war. And the difference, one of the saving grace differences between that circumstance and what happened with Charlie Kirk was that the person who killed this gentleman before the war was a Jew and openly admitted to killing this guy. I walked down there and turned himself in, my understanding, was a Jew. So there was a difference where this guy was another guy on the right. Remember who I said? Who did I say when in Nazi Germany, who was the first person that got killed? Other people on the right. Nick Fuentes, Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was actually against Donald Trump. Charlie Kirk, my understanding, was we need to get those Epstein files out right up into the day he died. So when we talk about the parallels, you might call me an alarmist.
You are catastrophizing.
Yes. Don't listen to me. Well, the sky is falling.
Well, okay, so to some degree, we probably do try to forecast a little bit, like we're like the weather. You know, we're kind of like predicting where it could go, and I do kind of feel like within reason, I think that's rational, because a lot of us are, you know, we're fearful, but there has been a lot of pushback, not as much as we'd like. So hopefully, it won't go too crazy far before people come to their senses. But he has attacked also the media, like you said. So he's hedging his bets. People in the media are afraid to step outside certain boundaries and say certain things in fear of retaliation. But hopefully people will continue to not coward, because otherwise that's just going to make it worse for everybody else who does want to, like even here on YouTube, even though we might get demonetized, which could very well happen. That we can't let that stop us. We'll have to keep going. But the fear with the people on our own service members turning on us, I mean, I'm sure that's a fear for people. Like I don't think that will happen because it should not happen. It's not allowed to happen, but it has happened in this country. So we're not, I feel like as long as we continue to say like, we don't think that's going to happen, but could it happen?
Could it happen?
That's not too conspiratorial for me. At least I hope
no longer
conversation.
Right.
That I just feel like
no
this
longer
is a conversation. Yeah.
Well, it's no longer. It's so much a reality now. Look at the FBI agents who are losing their job for just kneeling. 2 years ago, something they did years ago was just kneeling. They're going after the social media people. They're going. I mean, it would be no surprise. Donald Trump was recently paid out $24 million or something by YouTube. And then recently also, all the right-wing people who spread misinformation during the COVID and election are put back on YouTube. YouTube sent them we're sorry, we've let you back on the channel. That tells me they're caving to the right, and it would not surprise me, people, if we got shut down because we're too far to the left, because we talk about the shit Trump does.
They probably will just take our money first. But keeping us on, I don't think would be too harmful for them because it still behooves them. It still draws attention. They're still getting paid for stuff. We just don't get anything. They get all of it. So
really, that's true.
But I mean, it doesn't mean it wouldn't happen because channels have gotten shut down.
You're right. That's part of the reason why other people there's a comedian, Steve Hoffman or something. He's got this number that you can text and it'll join a calling list. So in case he gets shut down, 2 things that never get old. That's fucked up. Rainbow Ash, you're a bad person going to hell. Probably not for that.
I'm going to get canceled. We're getting canceled.
That's a good one. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah. We're going to get canceled. You're just trying to get us canceled now. So this comedian, Steve Hofstetter, he's got a phone number you can text. And if you text it, it'll add you to a list. That way, if his YouTube and Facebook get shut down, you can still be a part of his. You don't lose. And that's the same reason why I created the mailing list.
Oh, right. Yeah. Just in case.
I'm not very good about putting out a newsletter, but you can still join up the mailing list. And if we ever go dark, there's the.
You know why?
There's the thing. You know what? Well, at least you'll still be able to possibly get in contact with us by or we can actually contact you. We can send out an email newsletter going, hey, we got shut down. And you'll know why. So that's kind of the thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. See you later. They're going to pull off my fingernails later. Dave Murphy's been a channel supporter for 3 months. Thank you, Dave. Very much appreciate you. You guys are all wonderful. It's like we should get the Father Flanagan self-flogging whips.
So we
for
can
people like that. Yes.
populate ourselves.
Yes, for fun. For fun and profit.
Why not?
Well, I'm going to take a break and refill my coffee cup, people. Let's do this one here. We'll be back in just a minute. I think it's this one. We're going to do this one.
Do you have a loved one who's on their deathbed, but they've yet to give themselves up to the Lord?
Are you sure you don't want to come to Jesus?
No.
This is your final chance.
No. Worried they're headed to the fiery pits of hell.
Your very last chance.
No. I've been wicked and sinful. I deserve to burn in the hot place.
As you wish. Farewell, my heathen husband.
Farewell, my... Well, fear not, my wayward child. Introducing Father Flanagan's line of post-mortem baptismal kits. No more worries about being miserable alone forever. Be a good Christian and share that eternal pain and suffering with the ones you love.
I'm in hell. Not as hot as I thought it'd be. Kind of feels like Houston, minus the humidity. Hello. My favorite drink crafted to perfection. Ooh, and some dank ass weed.
I can't bear to be down on my face chanting, holy, holy, holy is the Lord, every day, all day, for all eternity, by myself.
Wow, is that George Carlin? And Alan Turing, look at that. Carl say, oh, I am so honored. You've been my hero since I was a kid. Neil deGrasse Tyson, what are you doing here? Oh, I get it. I get it. Schrodinger's Heathen. Very cute, you. Very cute. That's fantastic. Oh, what is that? What is? It's holy water. Oh, it burns. No, this isn't where I want to be. Pabst Blue Ribbon and a Marlboro? No!
Father Flanagan's post-mortem baptismal kit. Dead kid tested, Mother Teresa approved.
Is that the Pope and John Paul? Jim Jones and Jimmy Swaggart, huh? I can see that coming. Neil deGrasse, what are you doing? Holy, holy, holy is the Lord. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord.
Thanks, Father Flanagan.
Damn them to an eternity in heaven for only $59.99. They wouldn't appreciate it, but you'll feel better, and that's the point, isn't it? Get yours now. Your heathen loved one's time is running out.
Holy, holy, holy is the Lord. This is some bullshit. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord.
And we are back. So Ginger's Black, good morning. Welcome to the Damnation. Thank you for joining us at this ungodly hour. Apparently it was your first time seeing the commercial for Father Flanagan's line of postmortem baptismal kits. Therapists are standing by. Again, they're not very good. They're my dogs, but still.
Yes. You've been cursed now forever,
Yes.
but you can appease
Yes.
God by coming into the chat on a regular basis and making obeisance to us or something.
I got to do this, Ryan. I can't help myself. But if you need to appease the evil God monster of Abraham, no need to run out and buy a goat. No goat sacrifice, because we've got goat-scented flesh candles. Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented flesh candles.
Have you sinned again? Oh, and it's bad this time. A chicken just won't do. But wait, you don't have a goat for your burnt offering. Oh, no. The Lord's wrath is upon you.
Insignificant person whose name I don't know, you have sinned. Probably. I shall smite thee.
What do you do? You're all out of goats. She left you for another man.
Fear not, my wayward child. Introducing Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented flesh candles.
No goat? No problem. Just light one of these bad boys and let the sweet, savory scent of burning built flesh rise up to the heavens.
Is that goat?
It's easy, it's fast, and deluxe models even have patented technology that produces a goat screaming sound as the wick burns.
Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented candles. Save a goat, burn a candle.
Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented flesh candles are part of our You Do You Jew interfaith outreach program.
When you sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. When the Lord requires that pungent smell, light a candle or you're going to hell.
We are back.
I mean, yeah.
We are back from a very awkward conversation. Anyway, so you got to see some goats. Misinterpretation. We did some goats. Now we also have the Pharaoh's sombrero, and Fern Lovebond says they have not seen the Pharaoh's sombrero in weeks. I will play the Pharaoh's sombrero before the end of the show. Before we close the show. Fern, are you going to be here for the end of the show? Another 15 minutes, 20 minutes? We'll play the Pharaoh's sombrero song for you. Ryan, one is cursing God. Very true. So let me ask some questions here. I do have a question. Do you, Ryan, Rion? I think it's funny when people call you Rion.
Rion.
Do you have any plans for the weekend? Do you have any specific sinning or blaspheming you're going to do?
No, I don't. I know what I should do. I know what I need to do, but whether or not that will get done, I don't know. I would love to film some stuff if I get the chance.
That's great to do.
Big plans, guys. Big plans. Whoa.
Okay, so the next question is, because we got to. So tomorrow, my friends, if you're watching on Fridays, we've actually changed Friday to where it's actually the Alien Morning Show, and we talk Sci-Fi Friday. So tomorrow we talk mostly sci-fi. Can you give us a report on where you sit so I can kind of talk about what the show's going to be about tomorrow?
Where I sit on what?
Did you start Firefly?
No, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
But I will try to today.
Well, that's okay because it's like it's 14. It's a long haul to get through it all, So I'm just trying to find something that you've already seen that we could cover,
right? Talk about,
yeah.
Or if there's somebody else who wants to do it with you, sci-fi.
Oh, yeah. Well, we could do that if somebody wanted to sit in for Ryan, and we could give Ryan a day off. That would be interesting. Somebody interested in doing that. And then, of course, if you're as versed in sci-fi as I am. Now, listen, I got to say, I am not going to put every hand up that asks. One time I had this guy, he was like, hey, man, I know sci-fi and I want to talk about this stuff. And I ain't naming any names because I can't remember his name. It was the worst guest I've ever had in my entire life. It was a horrific show. We were 15 minutes into it. I'm like, okay, got to go. Love you. Bye-bye. And I shut down the show. Oh, yes. Wait a second. I saw we had a super chat earlier. Can I go all the way up to see it? Not there, but I can see it over here maybe. Then here's, so Fern Lovebond. So are Chucky Kirk's pronouns now were. I guess they would be technically. I
didn't see dates either.
Let me get back over here, see if I can find dates. Oh, Date said, excuse me, hashtag. Carly Chirk is literally revered with more gumption, love than Jesus Christ.
Carly Chirk.
Really? Yeah. That's not wrong. Carly Chirk.
Carly. Sorry.
He would hate the comparison. Nick
Charlie got cooked.
Yeah. Nick Fuentes would probably love the thing. Here's my understanding of what I've learned a little bit, and I could be wrong, but part of the thing about some of those far right guys is that they don't like women. Did you know that?
I just don't get it.
Now, here's the thing. Now, some of them don't like women to the point to where they don't actually want to have sexy time with women. They're not gay though. They're still right-wing men. They're right-wing men. So what they do is they find themselves effeminate men to pair up with, and therefore they don't consider themselves gay. That would be Nick Fuentes, my understanding. Yes, I'm not. I mean, you can go look for yourself. He's got a boyfriend that wears cat ears.
Yeah. I've heard about the groip. I don't know that I completely understand it yet. But Maya has been like going through, like you should watch her series. Like she's been breaking a lot of that stuff down.
Oh,
if
really?
You haven't. But it's so much to digest. I mean, it's a whole like cult, like an underground, not cult in that way, but like culture, I guess I should say.
Right. Yeah. No, I haven't been watching the things, but it's quinky dinky. So let me see here. I'm just checking over our things. So thank you, Dade Murphy, for that super chat. Very much appreciate you. For $5, said that. You're not wrong, by the way. Go ahead.
I did have that. Remember yesterday I said I had something to share.
You did.
But my OBS I've got to do something with it. It's not working. So I'll send you a link if you want to share this. But
I'd love to share it.
It is data of a bunch of, basically of America. And what it shows is that searches for transgender porn is very high in red populated areas.
It so is, isn't it? Isn't that they are the literal example of hypocrisy?
I guess I could share it here too, so people can.
I got you. Oh yeah, you can share it there. Yeah.
Yeah, just in case they want to click it through themselves. It's a lot.
Yeah. Well, recently my understanding is they caused a shutdown of Grindr at Charlie Kirk's memorial service in Arizona.
Yeah, I don't know if it was like a complete shutdown, but it was definitely like clogging up, overloading. Yeah.
Oh, look at you. I see the femboy thing. Okay. What?
Say who?
I say the femboy thing right here, the part of the Google search right there at the. Let me share this, Chris. They can't see. They can't see, man. I moved my stuff around recently, and it's just taking a moment to catch up.
Yeah, that's one of the searches.
So thank you for putting that in the chat. I'm going to make it biggie on the screen here, and we'll visitate about it. So the closet cases, Republicans secretly love what they publicly hate. And we have known this for a very long time. They do this. And this is one of the things I just never really got. I just don't get. Yeah, they love themselves some transgender porn. But why? Does any? All right, let me get this off here. We've seen that lawsuits, femboy, Google search, popularity in metro areas. That's the one I was talking about, the femboy.
Yeah.
And I just got to be. I got to be me here. Let me go here. I don't understand it. I don't understand. Are they so does Nick Fuentes speak out against homosexuality and transgenderism, or does he just speak out against the Israel and women?
I think he speaks utter shit about transgender and gay and all that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's very like subversive culture. Yeah, I don't know if it's just a deep I don't know if they're just so disconnected from themselves, or they're embarrassed because of this culture that they've taken part of, that they encourage, that they hate themselves, that they have to hide it, or it's because, how you repress yourself so much, it's almost like as if you rebel, like with a diet, like, oh, you don't eat, and then all of a sudden you're like gorging yourself. It's like you're repressing yourselves to the extent that at the point where you have a moment of freedom, privacy, this is what you're looking at, because this is where you really want to be,
right?
And you can't admit it, I guess. I mean, am I wrong? Am I off? I don't know. I don't want to like speak for people.
It sounds, well, they like trans porns because they like women, but they also like a BBC, and having the twos and just one is just, there's, I don't know. They're a contradiction I don't understand. I got a news article that I just happened to pop up. There's been the world's biggest terrorist has issued another threat to the population of the world. The White House says layoffs imminent, as we mentioned earlier. They're reminding us imminent now, which means like coming up right now. You better do it.
Falling.
We're gonna hurt our own people right now. Coming very soon. We're gonna hurt you if you don't capitulate. Donald Trump, the biggest terrorist in the world, and almost everything he does exemplifies that, literally by the legal definition in the United States and the international definition. As that's what that video. If you guys got the link to that video, I mentioned that in those videos. So,
and to the degree that people consider this being like a manly man, a macho man, everything about this just reminds me of childlike behavior, of someone who is not in control of their faculties, like. Is an emotional basket case that you rage and roar so bad. Like this reminds me of like not knowing who you're going to wake up next to, am I going to wake up to the nice husband today, or am I going to wake up to the batshit crazy, raging, throwing shit husbands? This is the kind of emotional mentality I think that this guy is, and the entire GOP at this point. It's not giving leadership or masculine energy,
right?
Because if you're a real man, I don't see why you have to act like this. People will follow you if you're a good leader. You don't need all the fucking tricks. You don't need the fucking pony show. Just be a good dude and people will be drawn to you. Sorry.
No, that's right. A lot of these men out there, especially I don't know what they call them, this notion that, hey, women out there, I'm single and you're supposed to somehow produce me a girlfriend.
You're just not handed.
Yeah. Right. Rather than going out and being the man a woman would want to be with, they're going to go and try to intimidate a woman intellectually, intimidate them in order to being with them. I just think, what do they call those guys? You had a word for it. You said incels. Yes, you said we should make a incel candle that smells like pussy. They wouldn't. but they wouldn't recognize it, is what you said. I wrote it down in one of my notes. One.
They wouldn't know.
You said that. They wouldn't know what it's about.
It's just like wait, and orange is the new black. Whenever, I don't know if y'all saw that, but when they started selling underwear because they got sewing machines and they were able to sew, and but they were using like cans of tuna and stuff and spices.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It was so funny. I thought that was funny.
Anyway. Dave Murphy says incel equals involuntarily celibate. And that's true. I did know that. Yeah. The involuntarily celibate.
Nobody wanting it.
That almost sounds like rapists are us, you know? Like I am celibate against my will. The only thing keeping me from not being celibate is other people stopping me. I don't know. Just sound, they're very small-minded people. Go be a person a woman wants to have sex with. That's a great place to start. Did you say so? All right, now wait a second. You said something going by fast about your candle. Did you say something about a candle? Oh, I get it. Oh my goodness gracious.
I think just a pussy candle.
An incel candle. Well, you remember, oh man, what's her name? Blonde-haired lady who was selling candles that was scented like her vagina.
Oh, I don't know. Somebody was doing that?
Yes,
really?
yes. They'll say it in the chat here in a minute. Yeah, Goop. She's the founder of Goop.
Oh, that named her kid Apple. What's her name?
Apple, yes.
Yeah, what's the blondie's name? Oh.
Damn, dementia once again robbed me of a name I should know. Paltrow, Gwyneth Paltrow.
Clear as day. Yes, Paltrow. Thank you, Bree.
Gwyneth Paltrow. Thank you, Bree. Man, it was hurting my brain. Gwyneth Paltrow, indeed. Yes. Incels think that if no woman likes them, there must be something wrong with women. That's a pretty good explanation, NG. Thank you, Neurogeezer, for that one. Yeah, that's a. But then that also fits. That tracks for the projection. These people, you know, they same mentality or tend to be religious and right wing, and projection and lies tend to be, you know, is there a big left wing incel group movement that I don't know about? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Maya says that's normal aging, not dementia. Really, it's probably not even normal aging. It's probably just weed brain. Yeah. I mean, if we're being true here, it's just a group of few of us. Don't tell anybody else. Keep it on the down low, right? But that's probably more of what it is. Me and the psychiatrist were talking about that too. Remember, I had to go to that guy to get the pills. And we talked about those, you know, I got all this and this and this. And of course, I'll forget shit all the time. And I was like, yeah, and I know it's probably due to the weed. He's like, yeah, it's probably due to the weed. I still like to bitch about it though. Health bells, yes. Darkwing Duck. When there's trouble, you call DW is exactly what you do. I think that's the way to go. Let's see. There are left wingers, incels all over the world. Left wing incel. Okay. Well, now there's a difference between literally being involuntarily incelibate. You know, like I'm single because I can't get a woman. You know, I just don't have the personality or whatever it needs to get a woman for now. You know, the right one's out there for me, but then there's also incels who are misogynistic women haters. There's a difference between, you know, somebody who just happens to have shit personality and be literally involuntarily celibate, or, you know, celibate.
There's levels.
There are levels. That's true. Some of them it's intentional. Some of it's just right wing being. Some of it leads us all back to hurting women or hating women. Just hating women.
It's a spectrum.
Women suck, apparently. The good ones do anyway. It's a spectrum. Yeah, misogynistic woman haters. So Christians, that's exactly right. Abrahamic followers of the Abrahamic religion would be more on point, I think, Dave Murphy, because, you know, we don't want to limit our truths to just the Christians. No, they all wear that misogynistic hat. The hat of misogyny, all of them do. They do, whether they like to admit it or not. Mm-hmm. Rational Poet Jackie, Chris, it is better to be single than to be in a bad relationship. That's true. And I got to say, man, you can't really claim sexual frustration is a problem in your life in this world. If you have the internet and you can't find a way to release your sexual tension, you just ain't using the internet right. I'm just saying. You know, for those people who are out there using that as an excuse, that's just not an excuse. Needing sex biologically is not an excuse. You know, that's why God made your hands long enough, for your arms long enough where your hands will reach your dick. For that very purpose, people. I'm just saying.
I mean, he should have gave us a couple more arms. I'm just saying.
Really, really. Well, if you're into the whole... Notice how I caught myself there. I did it. It was good. Oh, good shit right there.
Good job, Chris. Good job.
That's a good thing. I tell you what, I'm going to wrap up the show. You guys are fantastic and wonderful. What I'm going to do before I go, though, is I'm going to play the Pharaoh's Curse for Fern, because Fern is fantastic. I'm going to read our super chats. Let me read some super chats here for our wonderful people. Thank you for supporting our habit. Let me go here and here under leave of Brutus and the rest. For Brutus is an honorable man. So are they all honorable men. Anyway, come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. Where the fuck is the thing, man? The distraction is over, and I can't even sing Me Burrito anymore. Me Burrito. Oh, there we are. How'd you get over there? So I'll be okay, guys. I'll be okay. Our super chats. Damn it, Jim. Here we go. Fan funding. So welcome. Godless Engineer became a bronze level member. Thank you. Godless Engineer. And you know, part of the deal is I got dogs, right? So I blame the dogs. Those are actually my hairs. I got dogs. Part of the deal is I appreciate that, because for someone who has just been furloughed, to lay out some financial assistance to someone else is a sign that's appreciated. Yeah. I saw a thing where Godless Engineer was talking about Dan McClellan. Are you familiar with Dan McClellan? Mm-hmm. I dig Dan McClellan. You know, he's this, he's that. Godless Engineer G, he said he dug Dan McClellan as well, but he never supported him financially because Dan McClellan still attends a church and still ties to that church. And GE could not see himself supporting someone financially who would give that money then to somebody else. These are things make things like that more. I appreciate it very much. Thank you very much. Daryl also became a channel supporter. Welcome, Daryl. Thank you for joining the craziness. Left-Handed Jedi has been a bronze level member for 10 months. Whenever you want to talk about like a glutton for punishment, well, that's what the whole reason why we're going to Father Flanagan's is even working on the self-flogging whips for those who like to punish themselves, like Left-Handed Jedi, who's been a member for 10 months. That way, Left-Handed Jedi doesn't have to strain his elbow or his shoulder. He just holds it back there, and it you know. So fear not, my wayward child. There's going to be a self-punishment line, and then of course there's going to be a part of the Father Flanagan's sexual health products as well. Whole different story. Rainbow Ash gave $5 and said 2 things, Charlie, that never get old. Jokes about Charlie Kirk and Charlie Kirk. I said it. Please. I said it. If they're going to watch through this show long enough to see that and get offended about it, I guess they just deserve it. Dave Murphy has been if that offends them, they have not seen my video calling Charlie Kirk a sorry piece of shit. GE, if you haven't seen that one, you should go see that one. I think you'd like that one too. It's fun for the whole family, really. So it's a
Look
family.
at the tree says that they got dinged for their Charlie Kirk videos. Yeah. I asked the question, did you use his actual quotes? That'll do it. If you use his real quotes, they'll ding you. That's messed up. I don't know. I'm being facetious. I'm just being a jerk. They may or may not. So let me go here. 2 things. All right. So Dave Murphy has been a channel member for 3 months. Dave Murphy, thank you very much for being a channel supporter. David Murphy for $5 said, excuse me, Carly Chirk is literally revered with more love than Jesus. Unction, he says, than Jesus. Right on both counts. Fern Lovebond said, so are Chucky Kirk's pronouns now was, were? Yeah, I guess so. I don't think, shut up, Chris. Fern Lovebond. Oh, wait. Secular Feelinist. Oh, I missed this one. Ryan, do you want? Oh, yeah, you can't see them. I missed this one. Ryan, it says Secular Feelinist gave $5. Says thieves broke into the police station and stole all the toilets. The cops got nothing to go on. Oh yeah, I did see it, but I don't. Sometimes I forget if you read it or not. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I did not read that. My brain cells don't remember that. Thank you very much, Secular Feelinist, for the $5 super chat. Fern Lovebond for $2 says, I will 100% seriously buy that candle, Ryan. We're talking about a pussy scented candle for the incense. Vincent DeFetchis for $5 said, where do atheists get their morals from? If it's from you, aren't they just preferences? Maybe. That's an interesting question, Vincent, and it sucks that you're here so late in the show. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Drusilla has been a member for 5 months. What I want to do there for you, though, Vincent, since you're here and you asked, one of the questions of the question of the day, let's actually look at the question of the day.
Did we?
We haven't done that. We've not looked at my poll. Let's look at my poll. Can I find my poll? It's over here. The poll, the question of the day that we asked, Mr. Vecchio, if I said your name right, if that is your real name, is how do you explain how atheists can be good people and not be wicked and do evil all the time? Why aren't we wicked and evil all the time? And the options are there is no God and good people will good people. 12% of the people chose that. 20% of the people chose hundreds of thousands of years of living in groups gave us morals, taught us that it's wise to live certain ways that are beneficial. Some people don't live by those ways. They break those morals. You should check out sociology and stuff. They have like the difference between moral. Anyway, then number three, third option, only 2% of the people chose this one, is they are wicked but play nice to distract from the Lord. And 66% of the people said A and B. There is no God and good people will good people. And B, hundreds of thousands of years of living in groups gave us morals. That, I believe, is the answer to your question. Thank you for the $5 super chat. All you wonderful people, thank you for joining us. Ryan, sorry we ran a little late today. Thank you for being here. And I'm going to do because I did not forget you, Fern. I did not forget you. I'm going to, like you tell Ryan, like, all right, Ryan. Ryan's like, she gone. I don't blame her though. I'd be out to. So we're going to do the Pharaoh's Curse for you, Fern. For you. Here we go. Pharaoh's Curse.
Mi burrito es tan bueno. It burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. El ataco bueno, bueno. It stings like a bee. They told me she was his sister. Now I'm plagued between the knees. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse. There's fire between my legs. Mi burrito está no bueno, a full bladder I fear. Abraham's lies and Sarai's touch have left me itching front to rear. Mi burrito está no bueno, it burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. Mi burrito está no bueno, a full bladder I fear. Abraham's lies and Sarai's touch have left me itching front to rear. Mi burrito está no bueno, it burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs.
All right, you wonderful people. I hope you have a great day. And don't forget the important things in life. Shake the mustard. Don't forget. Sin safely, my friends. We'll see you tomorrow for Sci-Fi Friday. I don't know what we're going to talk about. We'll figure out something. We'll talk about some sci-fi shit. Or not. See you tomorrow.
Got a house that smells like old cheese and shame. Father Flanagan's flesh candles change the game. Goat-scented thrills for your soul's delight. Light it up, baby, make your room right. When you've sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. Smell the goat in a holy zone. Father Flanagan here to set the tone. Confession booth, busy, no need to stress. Light a candle and forget your mess. Gross odors vanish like sins in the wind. With each wick, guess who's your new best friend? When you've sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. Smell the goat in a holy zone. Father Flanagan here to set the tone. Lambs and calves may have their day, but goats, the scent that leads the way. Clean your slate with a sniff so pure. Father Flanagan's got the cure. Turn your home into a saintly space. With every whiff, find redeeming grace. From your living room to the kitchen